And you are on.
Good morning, happy Thursday. We are here today with Lisa Benz from the Dane Bar in Lake Havasu. I mean, look at them. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. We were just talking about the fact that you started your love for Great Danes when you got out of college.
Yep.
Can we talk a little bit about Gracie and Boo Boo, kind of where it started, and ultimately this got you to owning a bar built around the Great Danes?
Yeah, I met my first Great Dane, and I didn't really see myself as a large dog owner when I was a kid. I used to think, all they do is drool on you and stuff. So I decided that I was going to have small dogs. Granted, I love all animals. But then I met my first Great Dane and absolutely fell in love. Along came Gracie and Boo Boo. I remember when I called my mom and asked her, hey, I think I'm going to adopt this dog. She was totally, absolutely not. I don't think it's a good idea. I said, nope, I'm getting this dog. About a year later, that was Gracie. About a year later, I got Boo Boo. I called my mom and said, Mom, there's this dog available. She's, supposed to talk me down. That was the goal.
Say, who wants two Great Danes?
I didn't need two of them.
Yeah, are you crazy?
However, that time around, she was complete opposite. She's like, yeah, you'll do fine.
She fell in love too.
So she fell in love too, and she saw how much I loved them. But these are, the Great Dane is just my breed. I did my research on them, and their temperaments, their personalities, energy level, everything fits my lifestyle. They're just amazing, amazing dogs.
Oh, they're your companions, really?
Absolutely. My kids, they're my business partners. These guys are also my nutritionists. So every time I eat a meal, I only get a fourth of it because she gets a fourth of it, he gets a fourth of it, he gets a fourth of it.
They're saving your life right here.
Somehow I'm still not losing weight.
Oh my gosh. So tell us a little bit about Gracie and Boo Boo and kind of your life with them. And then I assume that then got you really into this idea of the bar.
Correct. Gracie and Boo Boo, my first original Danes. Loves of my lives. I fell in love with them. I had them for a long time. Unfortunately, I lost them about a week apart. And my female was unexpected death, and then my male had been battling cancer, and he was a bonded pair to her. So he went literally a week later. I was really heartbroken, wasn't sure I was going to do dogs for a while. And then some friends were joking with me about going to the bar and trying to cheer me up. And I was just not having it. I said, are dogs allowed at the bar? And they said no. And I said, no, I'm not going. And then I felt kind of bad. Of course, I apologized to them for that attitude. However, I was sitting back thinking about it. I'm like, why aren't dogs allowed at the bar? So really, this whole idea for the Dane Bar started out as a joke. Obviously, went a little far because here we are 5 years later.
And three beautiful babies.
Three beautiful babies. But we ran with it. We started looking up ideas online, and there are other dog bars out there across the country. However, I tailored this one to my own. My dogs are my business partners, and,
Yes.
here we are.
And we talked a little bit before. They actually help you kind of control and make sure the other dogs are safe. And
Correct. Well, really, honestly, my female is the only one that works.
she's sleeping. She's taking a nap
on
right
the,
now.
She's on the floor napping. She's my only really working dog. The other dogs, my Rufus here, he gets the tips. So if you put cash on the bar, he'll pull the tip down. And Johnny, to be honest with you, he just looks cute.
He just likes to be there.
He likes chasing red dots. But
Gracie, what I found was interesting is you said anyone can bring their dog in with them, and I was like, well, my dog's really super tiny. Would they eat them?
No.
And you're like, no, they actually they're really good with all dogs.
Correct. We're a mixed park, so we do have everything from miniature Chihuahuas all the way up to Mastiffs, Danes, you name it. I don't breed restrict, so we have name it, Rottweilers, Dobermans, Pit Bulls, and there's a thing with
some
Pit Bulls.
kitty cats come.
We do have cats that come in, so that just tells you what kind of ship I run. I run a very tight ship. I won't let anybody in my park if I feel that they're a danger, whether they're a Chihuahua, a Great Dane, Pit Bull, it don't matter. If I feel like the energy's not right, then they're not in there. But great. Jade helps me with that. She is, like I said, my only working dog, so she stays close to people or dogs that are nervous. She's also trained to give corrections if something does, say a dog's not listening to me and I'm telling it to quit sometimes and, bring it down, she'll go over and correct for me. And then she's also, she kind of keeps the park at bay. So she has an energy about her that kind of keeps everybody laid back and chill.
Just kind of watches over
yeah.
everything.
So she's really my actual working dog. The other ones just look cute.
They're just cute. Oh, they're so funny. They come in just flopping and just energetic and so well behaved. It's pretty amazing. Does that take a lot of time? And did you get them all at the same time, or have you?
I didn't. So after Gracie and Boo Boo, I got Rogue, who was my soulmate dog. He's the original business partner. He's actually on the back of the screen there, the one with right between us here.
Oh.
He is my original business partner, love of my life. So he started out the bar with me. Less than a year later, Jade came to me. When I first got her, she wasn't the best of dogs. She was very aggressive. I have since submitted her, and she's, like I said, my hardest working dog now. When I lost Rogue a little over a year ago now, I ended up getting these two babies. I took two dogs to make the one. Like I said, Rogue was my soulmate.
Aww.
But when he passed away, he knew I still needed him. So he jumped into this big body here. Rufus is Rogue the second. And then the pieces he forgot behind, he jumped into Johnny. And then Johnny came along. So I took two dogs to create him. But these guys they've been with me for Rufus about a year and Johnny less than a year.
Wow. So constant training, I assume, to get them to where they're...
Yes, everything is trained, and I do one-on-one training with each dog individually. So we'll go out to dinner, we'll go for walks, do all sorts of stuff. And then once a week, I always do pack play. So that means we go as a group. I take all three dogs, one leash.
Restaurant,
we go to a restaurant, we go for a walk. Sometimes we just simply go out to the desert and do some off-leash training. We'll go down to the lake. But everything is a training opportunity.
Wow. So, and still, even at this point of having them, the training continues.
Oh, absolutely. The training's for life. So I don't care if they're 2 months old or, 2 years old or who knows. But everything's a training. That just keeps a good dog.
Yeah, the consistency.
Yeah. They're all lazy right now.
Yeah, they are. Tell us a little bit about the bar. So do you have food? Is it, what's the hours look like?
Unfortunately, we don't serve food, and that is because the animals are present. You're always welcome to bring food in, order food, things like that.
And it is an inside dog park, which is very cool. So it's a nice, safe building.
Correct. The Dane Bar is an indoor dog park and bar. So the dogs are safe from the elements, outside of the heat, no hot pavement, always fresh water. You're not worried about stagnant water. But it's an indoor dog park and bar serving beer and wine from the humans. That's how we get them to stay longer.
Humans love beer and wine.
Absolutely. It's all about the dogs, so we want them to be able to be there in a safe environment, controlled environment. You don't get that controlled in an outdoor dog park. But we do offer some snacks, so chips, jerky, that sort of thing. The hours were only Tuesday through Friday. We open daily at 3. I do work multiple other jobs, so unfortunately we do have some reduced hours. Thank you, COVID.
Thank you, COVID.
But other than that, yeah, it's just an indoor dog park, a lot of fun, safe environment.
Wow. What brought you to Havasu? Because I know you lived a little further away, and now you're in Havasu and kind of had ventured into all this.
I came to Havasu for a dumb thing called love. I was with a guy for a long time. Unfortunately, that did not work out. However, it did work out because I got 3 amazing dogs. I got a really cool bar that's fun for everybody. I should note you don't have to have a dog to come.
You can just go hang out?
We have a ton of people that come in just for their dog fix. Maybe you can't have dogs where you live. Maybe you just recently lost a dog and you want to time with an animal. I have just people that come in just for the atmosphere. We're a very laid-back atmosphere, very chill. It's all about having fun. I pride myself on having fun.
Look at those guys.
We're just...
Well, and I was looking through your Instagram, and I mean, you do paint nights, and you have snake trainers.
Yeah.
You've had dance classes. I mean, it looks like you're really based and built around the community and what's really needed.
Correct. We do fundraisers, local fundraisers for small rescues. We do paint nights. We do training. Of course, we do Canine Good Citizen, snake avoidance, scent work. We do the paint nights. We do the fundraisers. We do cornhole, beer pong tournaments. Sometimes we do cook-offs. Of course, you cook your food at home and bring it in.
So you can bring your own stuff.
Absolutely. People can bring food or order food in anytime.
Jeff, you have to get to the Halloween pictures because it looks like they
All
do a
right.
whole contest.
We do a big London
Okay, let me
Bridge
look
Day
for those. I'll get to them.
Halloween costume contest, and that's one of our bigger events. The community reached out to me and wanted me to take care of the animal piece, so that's what we do every year. A huge event for London Bridge Days for Lake
Love
Havasu, and that's of course in celebration of our famous bridge.
Well, and the fun part is that you see, the humans dress up and the dogs dress
Oh,
up,
yeah.
and it looks like they're kind of
Yeah.
matching for most part.
It's a good time. That background there was our first Halloween ever. That was Rogue and I as the
Oh, with the
Playboy
bonnet.
Bunny and Hugh Hefner. He totally played the part too. He
Oh
walked
my
around like he's
Like,
he was-
oh, I am the boss.
And then he had to go to the bathroom and look at me like, "Can you roll this up for me?" There's some of our most recent costume contests.
Oh my gosh, how
So-
fun. So really just light and airy, somewhere people can get together with their animals, without their animals, whatever your need is.
Yep.
You can bring your own alcohol as well?
You cannot. No.
Cannot,
No.
okay.
I served the beer and wine there.
Nice.
So that was our
so
winner.
fun.
Yeah. See, we can have a
So
packed
is that,
house once in a while.
is that the building?
That's the building. Yes, that's the
Go
indoor
back,
play
Jen.
park right
Oh,
there.
so that's
So
a
that's
big
our
building.
big park. Of course, we have a front lounge and a dog park. I do understand that all dogs aren't meant to wrestle and romp and play. We still want to take our dogs places. We enjoy spending time with them. Taking them out of their element still wears them out, gets them tired. So that's I always say a tired dog's a good dog. So we do have a front lounge area for anyone with or without a dog that just wants to chill, hang out with your dog. And then, of course, the off-leash play park, and that's where they can really, truly get off-leash and run around with the other dogs.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
Yep.
Look at that. That's funny.
So cool.
That was another one of our winners.
Yeah, I can see why.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta have a pirate dog.
Of course.
Gotta have a pirate dog.
That's our
So you guys do training classes? Is that something that needs to be signed up for, or how does?
Yes, Canine Good Citizen is done through another trainer. I bring a trainer in for dog sakes training accessories. She comes in and does that training. I'm not a certified trainer, so I don't actually do the dog training myself. I bring someone in for that. Now, I do specialize in more the socializing piece. That I will do on a case-by-case basis. So that's got to be done where an owner truly wants to help their dog. We've worked with dogs from super, super aggressive, like Miss Jade here,
Yeah.
and also on the other end of the spectrum, shy. We've had dogs hide under a chair for many, many, many days.
Just anxiety.
And then we worked them out, and now they're playing with the other dogs, and they're social, and they're able to have a good time. So
Very
we work
cool.
with both ends of the spectrum. It's all about making sure the dogs are social and good with each other, because when you're walking down the street, you don't want anything bad to happen.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you said that Jade really gave you a run for your money.
she did. She gave me definitely a run for my money.
Yeah.
She was a very mean dog when I got her, but she's come so far, and I tell you what, she's the best dog. I'm so glad I was able to help her and get her to where she's at. She's the best dog ever.
Yeah.
So,
With, again, like you said, love, time, training, consistency.
absolutely. Yep.
Oh my
Very
gosh.
important.
Yes. How is it with you and the community? Are they supportive of you? How's that?
I have a lot of really good supporters. Yes, the whole community is very supportive. They've stepped up when COVID hit and money was tight. A lot of people donating money, helping out, making sure I got through it. It's
Nice.
very important business for our town. It's, as you know, we live in Havasu. It's very, very hot here.
Yeah.
120 degrees. You can't take your dog outside to play. So
Right.
this is, for a lot of people, the Dane Bar is a sanctuary. It's a place for them to go. People that come every single day, and it's just their way of getting out there and being social with other people in a safe, clean environment.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is we're a safe environment. It's always easygoing. We're super laid back. Of course, you have dogs there, so it's less stress. When you
Yeah.
got animals around, you always have a little less stress.
Well, and it's so fun to have a place where you can, when you love your pet and you want to, we had two pass away recently, and we just got a new baby, and she is a little wild and crazy, but I'm finding that the more I take her and the more I get her out and the more I
Yes.
stay consistent with her, that she is, I can take her somewhere and she sits and she knows that she can't run and jump on the table at that moment. which is super exciting. But I'm sure also for older people who can't really stand in the heat as well either.
Correct. I have one older customer. He's got a very wild, crazy Aussie. He's a great dog. But he's a lot of energy, and he's a lot for this gentleman. And this poor guy can't. He pulls hard and he's excited, and I've been helping him, and we're working on giving him a safe place to go where he can run his dog, get that energy out. I always walk out to his car and help him get his dog in. I always walk his dog back out to the car. But I've been personally training the dog. I've been helping teach him leash manners and helping him understand proper play, because he is a very friendly dog. He wants to go up in everybody's face. That's not always the best idea.
Right.
If you have another dog that's reactive and you go up to say hi, you could get bit. And so I'm trying to make sure that this dog doesn't end up in a vet office as well. So very important to provide an environment like that where the dogs are safe and understand proper play manner too. So.
Well, and to get that support as a dog owner, that is probably amazing for them as well.
Yeah. So.
My goodness, this is so exciting. So you guys have been there about 5 years.
Correct. We
made it through COVID.
Celebrated our 5-year anniversary. We made it through COVID. My original business partner had cancer. We made it through that whole ordeal. We've had a roller coaster ride, but I'm too stubborn to quit.
I love it. Well, and to give everyone a place in the dogs, and to be able to maybe save some dogs from maybe getting taken to places where they may be put to sleep because they're just a little wild or crazy.
Correct. A tired dog is a good dog. I cannot stress that enough. So, your dog's tearing up your house and stuff. It's probably a sign that your dog just needs some
time.
Energy, burnt out. Take them to a park, walk them. That's why we say we walk our dogs. It's always funny because June gets a little quiet at my bar. People are taking vacations. They're going out of town. Well, then they come home and they're wondering why their dogs are ripping up their house. Well, your dogs want to go play too. Your dogs want to go out and be active, and that's all part of everything. We get home kind of stir crazy, if you call it. Dogs do too. They want to go out, and a lot of times animals they're meant to go hunt and do all that stuff. Now, granted, we've domesticated these guys. They still need activity.
Yeah, speaking of that, you guys have a class, a snake avoidance class, right? Let's talk about that a little bit.
We offer a snake avoidance class about 1 to 2 times a year. We just recently did a back-to-back training. But what it is snake avoidance. So we teach these dogs to stay away from snakes. So we educate them on the movement of the snake, the sound of the snake, and most importantly, the smell of the snake. A dog most often is bit in the nose or the chest, and that is because they're getting their noses in places they shouldn't, and then they don't understand what that smell is, so they're lingering too long. We give them the tools to understand what that scent is, so when they are getting their nose out and about and they get it in the wrong place too long, they know to back out, not get bit. Also, when they're just going about the desert, they'll get that scent and they'll know to avoid a certain area.
For you as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great for the owners because, trust your dog. I can't stress that enough. Trust your dog. If you are walking through the desert and your dog decides it's going to go way around a bush, please follow it.
They're smart. Yeah.
No, that's for a reason, huh?
Correct. All my dogs are Canine Good Citizen trained. They're all snake trained. I think those are 2 very important classes for any dog. Of course, I do all my own training with my dogs, but I still think that Canine Good Citizen classes is a great bonding experience. It's a great class to teach your dogs.
Cool.
So.
At what age should they come for the training, like if you have a puppy?
Canine Good Citizen, you can start as early as a puppy. There's a puppy offering. Of course, it just depends on the level of your dog and how far along they are in the learning process. Snake avoidance, we ask that they be a minimum of 5 to 6 months old. So
I gotta sign up. I'm coming. I'm gonna come to you.
I think 6 months old is probably the best.
Okay, so that's good.
Get him in there, Christy.
I know. She's going to love it. Her name is Dottie Mae. She's a little baseball dog. She's a black lab. She's so cute.
Oh
my gosh.
You need to bring her down when you come next month.
Yes. So we are coming down for a community spotlight, which will be so exciting. And yes, so I will absolutely bring her.
Bring her with.
Yes. Well, is there anything else that you think that we should know?
I guess I don't know. No, keep your dog safe. Keep them off that hot pavement.
Yes.
And come down and drink a cold beer.
cold beer, and let your dog run and play. I mean, it does not get better than that.
Absolutely.
I noticed you have different seasons. So, like for Easter, you dress them up for like Easter. You have Christmas.
Yeah. We bring the Easter Bunny in, and then of course I bring my boyfriend the Grinch every year.
Yeah. I saw that.
I'm single, but the Grinch is like, I love the Grinch. I'm obsessed with the Grinch. So he comes every single year.
This is some photos of the Easter I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
I feel like it's just like a Cheers bar, like it's a family.
It is very family based. They say, animals run in packs. Our bar is very much a pack. It's very family oriented. Now granted, kids aren't allowed without special permissions, and at the end of the day, not all dogs are kid friendly.
Gotcha.
And that is why I don't allow kids in there on a majority of the basis. However, the dogs and the humans alike are just very pack like. We're all just Cheers bar for sure.
Yeah.
So
Super cool.
that's my Johnny.
And then
Super
the
cool.
Grinch ones were funny too. I saw those in there.
That's great. So if you find yourself, needing to get your dog out, wanting to really kind of teach them to be friendly with other dogs and people, this is a great place. What is the address? What's the location?
We're located at 2213 West Tacoma Boulevard in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Right across from the Office Bar next to the News Herald is kind of how people tend to find us. It looks small from the street. Don't be deceived. Once you get in there, you got that big warehouse space, lots of room for the dogs to run.
So if we are first timers, do we need dog shot records? What do we need?
You need to go to my website. There's a spot to fill out a waiver, and that will certify that your dog is up to date on shots. It does give me the right to call your vet should I not think your dog is up to date. However, we do charge for the dog park, so that tends to keep a lot of the riffraff out. We don't really
Gotcha.
have to worry about that too much. You can tell that the dogs walking are spoiled. People aren't missing their vet appointments. So they're definitely...
They're the fancy pantses.
Correct. They're the people that bring their dogs in there love their pets. So their dogs are up to date on shots, but that does make sure that we're running a safe place.
Yeah.
The dogs they should be up to date on shots. Now, the question comes up all the time, do they have to be spayed or neutered? No, not always. Granted, if your dog's in heat, do not bring them near my bar. We don't want that happening.
Yes.
But if your dog is not spayed or neutered and they play well with the other dogs, and as long as everybody there, all the patrons are okay with it, they're free to play with the rest of the dogs. I can't stress enough how important it is for the dogs to socialize in a clean, safe environment. I stress safe. So that's why we do allow those guys to come in and play. Of course, I do know some people have reserved feelings about that. So I do put rules in place, and we do fall back on those rules. And at the end of the day, if somebody's uncomfortable, yes, I'll ask you to sit on the other side for a little while. But we don't discourage safe socializing.
That's wonderful.
So.
Well, and I assume it's, trial and basis, and everyone who's going there, I mean, you're going there for a good time for your dog, for yourself.
And I evaluate everybody on their way in. Again, if the body language seems like it might not be a fit for another dog in the park, it doesn't mean that the dog's not a good dog. It's just that right now is maybe not the right time. Just as us humans don't always get along, animals are the same way. At the end of the day, animals have instincts I can't control, so I'm not responsible for any accidents or injuries. Knock on wood, we have never had anything happen, but the day that it does, I'm not responsible. These dogs are animals. As much as we treat them like our kids or babies, they are animals. So
I love that you say that. I've kind of talked to a few places about training and stuff, and each person that I come across really stresses that, that at the end of the day, they're animals.
correct.
We're training them to love us and for us to love them, and
Correct.
kind of where the command comes from. But we do have to respect that about them,
Absolutely.
She's like, ready to go.
Johnny
thank
B.
you.
Good's ready to go here.
Johnny is done. He's done his time. Thank you so much for coming out today. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach her on Facebook or Instagram, the Dane Bar.
Yep.
Yeah, and sign up. Go out and visit. Take a day down there.
For the next 2 days, we do still have a special going on. We've got some discounts on closeout gear that we have. And then, of course, we got that half-price dog park. So
There he is.
if you want to come check it out, it's $5 entry to get into our dog park. Check it out. See how you like it.
Yes. Thank you for coming today.
hi.
I appreciate you. Good job, boys and girls. All right, guys. Shop local, support local. Head down to Havasu. Check out the bar. Take your dog. Have a good time. Thank you for showing up today.
Thank you, Lisa.
Hi. Oh,
thank
yes,
you,
you're
guys.
even up. Hi. Good morning. You were sitting resting.